Golf, always a game played amidst the elements, and Mother Nature had her way. Thursday at the Farmers, Seaside there at Torrey Pines, and issues for everybody. No issue here for Lanto Griffin, and he catapults into a lead with a birdie at the par 3 16th, that from 35 feet off the back. But as you can see, wind whipping throughout as Griffin and all others would grind their way in a U.S. Open type challenge here on Thursday. The elements having their way with the field and with the lead. Ludvig Åberg was sitting at 9 under through one round and went on to give 3 back as he grinded his way to a 75 in round 2. And for more, we say hello to CBS Sports golf analyst Rick Gehman. Rick, this was the good stuff depending on who you ask. I mean, players pushed to their brink, stoppages due to unplayability, wind effects across the field. How'd you see scoring evolve here in day 2?
Oh my goodness, it was a tale of 2 days. Remember, the opening rounds played exactly like we expected it to at Torrey Pines. The north course was about 2 shots under par, and then the south course was going to play over par, about a half a stroke, and it did just that. But flip the script for round number 2. Both of these golf courses played nearly 3.5 shots over par. So that is much more difficult than we would normally see for both of these golf courses. Guys were struggling in nearly every situation, and the players who had to play the north course in round number 2 did not even get the benefit of that 2.5 stroke gap between the 2 courses. So there was definitely a weather draw to be had for this week that ended up being pretty tangible. But Joe, I think you alluded to this at the start. What it really did create is a situation where everybody who has made the cut is within 7 shots of the lead. There are nearly 50 golfers within 4 shots. This thing is very, very tight as we head into the final 2 rounds.
My lips are chapped just watching the thing. It is the Vig holding a share of the lead after getting out to that lead in round 1, tied alongside Lanto Griffin. But after grinding out that 3 over 75, we do have to explore Ludvig here for a moment. But I want to go to one of the other stories in this field thus far. The amateur Luke Clanton, a top 5 finish for the Florida State Seminole, would mean a tour card earned. But Rick, this is, again, it's that era of guys that seem unfazed by it all. The #1 amateur in the world, familiar with this first page. What stood out to you?
Joe, when Derek Jeter first came up and was playing for the Yankees and he was doing crazy stuff in the World Series, there's a quote that he was too naive to know any better, that he shouldn't be doing stuff this good this young. And that's exactly what Luke Clanton is doing right now. Already twice a runner-up on the PGA Tour. He is still planning on going back to Florida State for reasons that I have no idea, but he seems to want to get that education or at least play some college golf with his buddies. But this kid is the future. I mean, we've got both the #1 and #2 ranked amateurs in the world in this field. Clanton got off to an unbelievable start in the second round, making a bunch of birdies early. He would give a few of those back on the second 9, but you can see the emotion. We got some really strong fist pumps out of him for par saves on that second 9. He's very engaged in this event, and he has put a mark on his ball on the right rough of 17. He's going to come back, finish that hole, and then the 18th hole in the morning.
Yeah, as quickly as you can get out of those elements on this day, as you can see, leaking a bit of oil coming home. But our guy Bryant McFadden, who does our great NFL coverage here, he'll tell you, you stay a Florida State Seminole as long as they will have you. We'll see how long he stays, because it seems that there will be staying power on the PGA Tour when he does make that jump. On the topic of unfazed, perhaps, Åberg in pursuit of a career win #2. It feels like the persona, the stories, sort of outpacing the results right now. What big picture constitutes a successful season for Luddy in your eyes?
Yeah, it's gonna require a win or two. I mean, the expectations are so high. He's a top 10 player in the world. He has been for a long time. He's already a PGA Tour winner. He's already a DP World Tour winner. He's already been a member of a victorious Ryder Cup team. So he's going to have to win, and he's going to have to contend at major championships. He's only played 4 of them. He nearly won his first at the Masters last April. So there's really no pressure for him to win a major, but I would like to see a victory, a couple of contentions on the weekend at major championships. But you're right, Joe. The heaps of praise that have been laid upon this guy are in no short supply. It's all well deserved. I would love to see him get off to 2025 and kind of close this thing out at a big boy golf course.
Yeah, young and talented, always nipping at your heels. And just as you were the young one, now you become veteran. You just hope you have some wins to carry with you. Let's see who does win this one. Rick, we're not through 2 full rounds yet, and yes, coverage coming up on Friday and final round Saturday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+. Who are we going to see win it all there?
Well, I think there's 2 options here. You either go to the very top of the board in Ludwig Oberg, or you go somewhere pretty far down the board, and that's where I'm going, the ladder there, Joe. And I'm looking at Jason Day. He moved up over 90 spots on the leaderboard during the second round. He finally started making some putts. The opening round was a little bit of a struggle with him, but through 2, he has been really solid from tee to green, and then he finally got some putts to roll in during the second round. And his history around Torrey Pines is unmatched. I mean, he's got 2 victories here, a handful more top 5 finishes. The game seems to be really sharp. So I'm taking the approach of Ludwig versus the field. I'm taking the field, and then the name within that field being Jason Day, sitting at about 35-1 right now.
So it's not John Rahm proposed to his wife next to 18 green stuff, but it is experience nonetheless.
Close enough. Yeah, same thing.
Rick Gehman, we'll see you on the weekend, pal.
All right.
And don't forget, as we said, it is Saturday finish this week on tour. Friday, Saturday coverage coming your way, beginning at 5 Eastern and 4 on Saturday on CBS and streaming Paramount+. Our coverage, award-winning as always, as you'll have Trevor Immelman in the booth and Jim Nantz stopping by from afar as he calls our AFC title game.